we're having a pretty good run here.
Yes, they're like in the number 5 seed of 6 for the playoffs. Yeah. For the Eastern Conference, they're right there in that spot. So, Bruce, I think I lost Bruce. Bruce Barrett has gone away. We've lost Bruce Barrett. We'll see if he'll pop back up in here again here. We got a few more minutes. We're going to chat it up here on the Sports Power Hour and get on out of here. Hey, by the way, coming up at 9 o'clock, that's 9 p.m. Eastern time, it is the Roundtable. With all of our crew of CRN. I know Trey Snide's going to be off tonight. Keep him in your thoughts and prayers. He's got a family situation going on, so he is not going to be able to be with us on the program. But Mike and Brandon and Bruce, possibly Andrew. Back. Andrew's been late on a lot of shows here lately. Me and Andrew later got to have a talk here. So, of course, he did fill in on a couple of basketball broadcasts, but that might be all that he likes. So, but Bruce, what we were talking about was go ahead and finish your comment about this is good for the fans. And to bring you back into that segue in closing, even President Trump on Monday afternoon in his task force, meeting address that he does for the public every day. And by the way, big kudos to our president. Pray for our president, for the leaders of our country. There's just so much stuff going on right now, and I believe there's more than what we know that's happening, or that's things that's in the works than just coronavirus. And I applaud the powers that be and the leaders of our government for trying to take advantage of that, and hopefully that'll all come out very, very soon. But with that being said, Bruce, even the president said fans are. The other day, I had a chance to sit down and watch television. And I'm seeing reruns. And I think it's great that these networks are trying to keep the fans entertained, but the fans are sick of it. They don't want to see things from 15 years ago. They want to see, the real deal. They want to see the real sports. We want to get the arenas back open again. We want to get the leagues and the organizations and sanctioning bodies back playing sports. So even the government agrees. Sports is a great way of life for people. That's our getaway. That was the purpose of sports being created, is to take your mind as a diversion off of this crazy day-to-day life. And by the way, I don't know if you're a wrestling fan, Bruce Barrett, props to Big Vince McMahon, Triple H, Paul Levesque, his wife, Stephanie McMahon, all of the people at WWE, the World Wrestling Entertainment, an awesome WrestleMania. Even though there was no fans there, I thought they did everything in their power to keep people entertained. And that was the nice 7-hour diversion over the weekend for sure.
Yeah, we all know wrestling is, wrestling.
Yeah, it's entertainment.
It's entertaining, but I'll tell you this. I had a buddy of mine back in Jacksonville, Florida. His name was Mike Prather. And he was one of the guys you would see on Saturday with Georgia Championship Wrestling or Florida Championship Wrestling. He would be one of the guys that would get beat really bad by one of the bigger guys. And he went to our church, and I would see him in church, and I'd say, I saw you on TV yesterday. Bad game plan, But he was a lot of fun, and he went to a wrestling camp in Hawaii. And, it was like when we were talking earlier with Showtime, when he got to training camp, all they did was run and do, and that wasn't much basketball. It was running and training and getting physically ready to go. He said when he got to that wrestling camp, you would just go home tired, and he would see people leave because all they did was run that ring, when they go off those runs and everything. He said he would go home just worn slap out. And those guys that do this are incredibly in shape. My wife, Dawn, had a wrestling thing. They came and did a fundraiser for a course. And they would come out of the ring after a match, and they would be a little sore. We had our sports people, from Triple S there.
Right.
And she made a comment after the matches were over. She said this. She said, no matter what you think, this has got to hurt. It's got to hurt a little bit, because she was actually giving first aid and treating some of the bumps and bruises they got.
Right.
So, but yes, it's a lot of fun. One of my favorite commentators, other than you, Wesley, was Gordon
thank
Soley.
You.
Yeah, but Gordon Soley was the guy that I just loved to listen call a match. He was just so good at it.
Well, obviously, he was probably a lot better than I am for sure in career-wise, so maybe I'll get there one day. I mean, I know I do get to do stuff with Fox Sports Radio and MAV TV and Speed 51 and all these cool things, NASCAR, but, not making the millions and millions of dollars that I would love to be able to make one day. And by the way, I will tell you this in closing. What I do, I don't want to do it for the money. I want to be paid for my craft, for what it is that I do when I get to that level. But I love what I get to do, Bruce. That's why I think me and you had such a great connection of chemistry when we first met each other and started working with one another doing baseball and basketball broadcasts, because I feel like I have a very kind spirit, and I try to be a team player to work with everybody, to work with any and everybody.
Well, I'll say this about you, Wesley. I'm just not saying this because we work together, but when I watch you on MAV TV,
yeah,
and the speed channels and on Fox, I mean, you've done college football.
Yes, I have.
And you do high school athletics. You give back to the community, but what you do is entertaining, and a lot of people see that, and it's pure.
Yes,
it's pure. What you do is a lot of fun, and that's what drew me to this network, and all the broadcasters that are here. They love this. They love sport, but they just have a genuine way of bringing it to the people. And that's what I am so proud to just be here.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed episode number 3 of the Sports Power Hour. It's part of CRN Podcasts. They're available on all outlets across America, including Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, CastBox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, and Podchaser, iTunes, Tuned In, and of course our official website, crnsports.org. Thank you to Paul Gaffney of the Harlem Globetrotters for joining us. For Bruce Barrett, I'm Wesley Outland, and for all of the crew at CRN, we'll be back in less than 50 minutes. Yeah, that's right, the round table, any and everything. We're going to talk about all that cool stuff going on in the world of sports, life, religion, politics. It doesn't matter. It's all 5 guys on a media roundtable audio circle chatting up about any and everything. Look out, barbershop ladies. The men are coming on CRN. The round table coming up at 9 p.m. Eastern. God bless you all. God bless America. And as always, keep on praying.
This episode is an exclusive production solely for the private, non-commercial use of our listening audience. Any publication, reproduction, transmission of the accounts without the express written consent or permission is restricted and prohibited. To hear this replay or other previous podcasts, download on iHeartRadio, iTunes Radio, and TuneIn. As always, this show is for you. Thank you for listening.
Looking for a life insurance company that specializes in what you actually need? Protection. Call Danny today with Symmetry Financial. Danny is certified in all 50 states, which means Symmetry Financial is not limited and has over 30 companies to choose from. Symmetry Financial has proved time and time again that their options and pricing is just better than the rest. Give Danny a call today at 828-994-1681 to see how Symmetry Financial can make life simple. This is CRN, the Community Radio Network, the voice of the community, the voice of anything sports, and proud to be the voice of the Comets. Follow us at crnsports.org. Now let's get back to the broadcast coverage on CRN.